the president of the Board of Education even had the decency to speak to the city council or attend this meeting or any of the other meetings. Shame on them, but shame on the entire board. Shame on them for their arrogance. Shame on them for their irresponsibility. You've heard me say it before, and it bears repeating. We give this school board over $500 million of taxpayer money every year. Tonight alone, they're here asking for $25 million in borrowed money. Shame on them that they would say that the taxpayers' inspector general, not the city's inspector general, not the mayor's inspector general, not the council's inspector general, but the taxpayers' inspector general, shame on them for saying that he does not have the right to look at their books and assure the taxpayers and assure the students that that money is being spent properly. Time and time again, whether it's teacher salaries, whether it's bonds for roofs, whatever it is, we hear the same thing. Oh, but it's about the children. Oh, but it's for the children. Well, I don't think there is a council member in this room who is not for the children. We're for the children and we're for the taxpayers. And as a council member, I have a responsibility, as do every one of us, to assure every child in that school system that every penny is being spent to the best of our ability for their benefit. We have a history here. I pointed out to the superintendent, and no offense to the superintendent, but I pointed out to him that in theory, if any prior board had taken this position, he wouldn't have this job. Because the man that had it before him ended up getting convicted of a felony precisely because this city council sent that inspector general into that school system and he found the corruption. I'm not suggesting that there's any corruption in this office right now, but I am suggesting that that auditor, that inspector general has an obligation and a right on behalf of the taxpayers to look at that department, the department that spends more than half of our budget, as much as he has a right to look at any other department in this city. And for them to have, quite frankly, fiddled with us for the last 2 months, we've been here. We've asked for meetings. I asked to speak to them. When I wrote to them and I said, let's talk, the only response I got was a letter from their lawyer accusing me of committing blackmail and threatening to go to the district attorney. That's a hell of a way for people who have a public responsibility.